Hey guys, thank you so much for jumping on. We are super excited for tonight's webinar and so super excited for our special guest, Jamie. So yeah, I'm super excited to introduce her and tell you guys a little bit about her, and then she'll take over and give us a whole heap of goodness. Jamie is a pharmacist and she is a certified integrative nutrition health coach. And she has worked in the health industry for almost 12 years, which is absolutely incredible. So we're truly blessed to have her on the line. And a little bit about her. So due to the high pressures of working as a pharmacist and managing busy pharmacies, Jamie began to struggle with her own health issues and really found that doctors were unable to help find the solution, and they were pretty much just band-aiding any issues that she was having rather than finding an actual preventative, which I'm sure most of you may have been familiar with. If it wasn't yourself directly, someone you know, I'm sure that's happened to you within your lifetime so far. And I guess after becoming increasingly frustrated, she began to explore holistic and natural health and found her true passion was in integrative medicine, which I love. And it's all about helping others get to the root of the cause of their health concerns and not putting that band-aid fix on there, which is amazing. So she has been one of our Health Style Emporium coaches, and tonight she's going to be delving a little bit deeper into more details about our nutritional support product and details on how it's made, the ingredients within it, how it works in our body on a molecular level, which is amazing. I can't wait to hear about that. Why it's different to a multivitamin or a regular supplement as well. I know lots of people always have questions about that, so can't wait to hear more about that as well. And also the real science behind human physiology and why it has helped so many people and so many of the Health Style Emporium clients heal as well. So without further ado, I'm going to mute myself and pass you over to Jamie to get started with all of the goodness.
Yay. Thanks so much, everyone. So I thought I'd start off with a little bit more about me. So I guess I've always had a massive passion for health and wellness. And even as a young girl, when someone asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, it was always something to do with health. So first it was a chiropractor, which is super random. Then it was a doctor. And eventually I decided that I really wanted to be a pharmacist. And I wanted to be a pharmacist because I love the community aspect of the job. I love the idea that I'd be able to talk to so many different people every day about their health and help them to become happier and healthier. So I'm sure there's plenty of other ladies on the line, and men, sorry, on the line tonight that have been to university and can vouch for me when I say that it is damn hard. Uni was so tough for me. It was honestly the hardest thing that I've ever done. And when I look back now, I really think that my health problems started while I was at uni. So I had a really nasty and a mean girl. I got really bad anxiety attacks, and I had terrible digestive issues. So I actually remember times where I would be doubled over in pain and nothing would help. Nothing at all would help it. I had tests and procedures and all sorts of things done, and nobody could get to the bottom of what was going on. I kind of just thought that once I finished uni that all of that would go away, because I thought it was just, the stress of uni, and once I'm a pharmacist I'll be living my best life and I won't have these problems anymore. But unfortunately that hasn't been the case. So don't get me wrong, I do really love being a pharmacist most days, but it is really tough. So we work under high stress, we work really fast paced and long hours, and I don't get lunch breaks. So it's been a really tough environment, and my health has definitely suffered even more. I guess my rock bottom was in the lead up to my wedding in 2017. I'm sure every bride or bride-to-be can relate. You just really want to look and feel your best on your wedding day. But I was actually at my worst. So I gained 10 kilos. I was getting anxiety attacks again, nearly every day. My digestion was worse than ever. And I was just so self-conscious and unhappy. So my wedding dress actually sat in a box for months before I tried on before my wedding, because I just was so scared it wouldn't fit me. So my wedding day came and went, and it actually was the best day ever, despite how I felt. But it kind of left me with this urge that if I was one person going through this, there must be other ladies and other ladies not getting answers and looking for answers like I was. So that's where I stumbled across the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. And I started studying with them. I loved the course and I started sharing things on Instagram. And that is where I met the beautiful Kalia, who's on the line tonight. So Kalia reached out to me about her magic beans. And I have to say, I was pretty skeptical. I just had no idea what they were or how they could help me. But I thought, oh, well, you know, I asked her a few questions. I didn't believe anything that she told me. So I did all of the research myself. I read the studies. I read, honestly, everything about it. And in the end, I thought, you know what, like, it makes sense. I'll just give it a go. It literally took 1 week of taking the trio. And I just thought, you know what? I need this. I need all of these products and I need to share them with people. So I sleep better. I have less anxiety. I deal with stress a lot better. And I actually don't crave junk foods or anything like that anymore. I'm craving juices and salads. I don't even like salads. And I'm actually frequently complimented on my skin now, which is massive for me. So I would love to be able to say that I am the picture of perfect health, but unfortunately, I'm not. I have recently been diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome. Now, 12 months ago, if I had found this out, I would have had a meltdown. It would have been the end of the world. But now I know that with this amazing nutraceutical product, balanced with eating a diet rich in whole foods and minding my mind, I can get control of my hormones and I can get control of my symptoms. So you're probably thinking, how am I so confident that I can heal my body? So that's actually everything that I'm going to share with you tonight. So I'm going to share my screen because I'm a bit of a nerd and I've made a slideshow so that I want to start everyone with a quote from Joshua Rosenthal. Now, he is the founder and director of the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. And Joshua says that when given half a chance, the body will heal itself. Now, in a world where there are countries with over 70% of the adult population being considered overweight or obese, where 422 million people have diabetes, and where heart disease is the leading cause of death, it's obvious we aren't giving our bodies half a chance. So being healthy really isn't complicated. Our bodies actually know what they need and what they thrive on, but it's our brain that makes the mistakes. So what is the secret to being healthy? So the secret to being healthy is actually nutrients. It's so simple. So what are nutrients? Nutrients are molecules in all food and organisms that we need to make energy, to grow, to develop, and to reproduce. And for a fun fact, for anyone who didn't know, there's actually 90 essential nutrients that the human body needs for optimal health. So how are nutrients absorbed in the body? This is in a nutshell. I'm sure that there's people squirming there thinking back to year 10 biology. It's not a science lesson. So this is very, very simplified. But essentially, digestion begins in the mouth. So we chew, saliva breaks down our food so that we can start to process it by the body. So it moves down and into the stomach, which is a muscular organ. It excretes digestive enzymes and acids to help break down the food even further and turn it into a more liquid consistency. From the stomach, we move into the small intestine. Now that's broken into 3 segments. One that helps to break down the food even further again with enzymes and bile. And then the other 2 where the main absorption of nutrients actually occurs. So that's in the jejunum and the ileum. So these digested nutrients are then passed through the walls of the intestine and into our blood vessels. So once they're in their bloodstream, that's where they become active and they're transported to the cells where they're needed. Anything that isn't used is actually either stored or it's excreted as waste and our bodies get rid of it. So just to put it into proportion, it actually takes about 6 to 8 hours to, for the full process to occur. So I guess the question is, are we overfed and undernourished? There are so many factors that affect how our body absorbs nutrients. So first is our gut health. Do we have optimal levels of these digestive enzymes? Is our body producing enough stomach acids? And are the cells in our digestive tract actually working in optimal condition so that the nutrients we need are being absorbed and the waste is being excreted? And what about the whole foods that we're consuming? Are we really eating the rainbow? Are we actually eating the minimum of 5 serves of vegetables every day? Now, 1 serve of vegetables is actually half a cup of cooked vegetables or 1 cup of salad. So it's not 5 different vegetables. It's, you know, at least 5 to 10 cups of vegetables every day. And what about fruit? I know I definitely don't eat enough fruit. So it's 2 serves of fruit every day. And then if you are eating all of that, what's the quality of nutrients that you're getting? Like, how long has your produce been sitting in storage? How long has it been sitting in fridges? Has it been exposed to pesticides or chemicals? And what's the nutrient value of this produce? Is it actually, like, has it been grown in nutrient-rich soil? Was it vine ripened, or was it picked green and let to ripen in the supermarket? So many questions that we actually can't answer. So that's where this comes in. So most of us, there is a gap between essentially what we should eat and what we do eat, and between the nutrients that our body needs and the nutrients that our body is getting. And I guess this is where our beautiful partner product comes in, essentially the next best thing to fresh fruits and vegetables. So an overview of our beautiful nutraceutical blends. We have the fruit and vegetable blends, the berry blend, the plant-based omegas, and the complete sachets. So essentially it's whole food nutrition, whole food concentrates that deliver broad spectrum nutrition to heal the whole body. It's essentially the best quality product that you can get next to fresh organic fruits and vegetables. This is the part that I really love, because obviously as a pharmacist, it's important to me to be aligned with a product that is quality, but also has science behind it. So our product is actually the most researched of its kind. There are to date 35 peer-reviewed studies which have found that Juice Plus supports gums, cardiovascular wellness, the immune system, it protects DNA, it reduces oxidative stress, and it reduces systemic inflammation and improves skin health and appearance. There's actually 12,544 known nutrients tested to date in the premium capsules. I'm pretty sure you will not find a multivitamin with that many nutrients in it. Actually, I can guarantee you, you won't. So the nutrients from the capsules are actually detected in the bloodstream within 7 minutes of taking the capsules, which is pretty interesting considering if we eat food, it actually takes 6 to 8 hours for those nutrients to enter our bloodstream. So we're getting quick nutrients and quality. And it's a simple way, essentially, for people to boost their nutrition on a daily basis, both from a micronutrient perspective and also a macronutrient perspective, which we'll go into that a little bit later. So one of the most frequently asked questions we get is, how are these beautiful blends made? So the factory that they're made in is actually one of the world's largest fruit and vegetable factories. It's pretty amazing. They have an open door policy, so you can actually go and do tours of the facility and watch how everything happens. They are very strict on the farms that they work with. So the farmers have to be a 4th or 5th generation farmer. They must rotate their crops. This ensures that the products are grown in, well, their produce is grown in quality soil. It's actually grown in an average of 8 meters of topsoil, which is really interesting because in Australia, we grow our produce in about 8 centimeters of topsoil. It's also, our soil in Australia is not monitored for essential minerals, whereas our produce for the capsules is grown in soil that must contain 13 essential minerals. So why am I talking so much about soil? Why is soil important? It's because not only does soil give plants the nutrients and energy they need to grow, but it also affects the quality of the plants and essentially how much nutrition they have, and so how much they can pass on to us. So another interesting point is that our produce is actually picked at the peak of ripening, which is when everything is most nutrient dense. Most of our produce, like I said before, that we get in the supermarkets is picked weeks before it's ripe, and it's allowed to ripen either in cold chain storage or on the supermarket shelves. So it's not anywhere near as nutritious as this. Within hours of picking the produce, it's pulped, skins and all. So essentially they make a massive smoothie, and it's then transported to the juice plus factory where they begin the drying process. So in giant steel vats, which there's some pictures of over here, we gently warm the product to dry it. This helps to maintain and protect the nutrient value, but also the enzymes. So everything has enzymes, and that's what makes this product so special. It's what makes it so available to our body. Once a product is dried, it's then spun. So think a giant centrifuge. They spin it and spin it and spin it, separating out the water, the sugar, and bringing out only the active components, which sediments at the bottom. That's what we collect then and put into capsules. So each fruit and vegetable is actually treated separately. They're not all mixed into one vat on their own. So the cherries are with the cherries and the carrots are with the carrots, so that everything is protected. And then it's all tested. So our products are tested so many times for sugar, wheat, yeast, mold, bacteria, and viruses, which is pretty amazing. Most facilities don't test for all of those. After all of this testing, we then move on to the encapsulation facility where they're blended. So each different fruit and vegetable is then blended together and popped straight in the capsule. The capsules are tapioca based, so they are vegan friendly. And essentially this protects it all from oxidation. So it maintains the quality of the product. These are some of the other questions that we get asked pretty frequently. So why is the fiber removed? So essentially the fiber is just removed as part of the process to remove sugar and leave only the phytonutrients. So we do actually maintain some of the fiber, but it is only a small amount. And it's essentially because we just want micronutrients. That's all the product is about, delivering micronutrients. Are the capsules gluten-free? They don't contain yeast or gluten, but they aren't certified gluten-free. And essentially that is just because we have really strict regulations here in Australia and really strict guidelines about how we can get gluten-free certifications. The products are tested though to be 20 parts per million gluten-free. So they're pretty much gluten-free. We just can't say that they're certified gluten-free. Are the capsules organic? This is another one that all revolves around strict certifications. So our produce is organically grown and it is non-GMO. But because of these strict guidelines, we can't say that they are certified organic because there's just too many different factors that are affected in there. So they're organically grown and they are non-GMO, which is the most important. And the last question that we always get asked is what about the sugar? Because it's fruits and vegetables. So the sugar is removed, although they do say it's not intentional, but it's removed through the drying process. So they actually, like I said, they dry everything and then they spin it to separate out the micronutrients. But essentially because they don't contain that sugar, they are fine for anyone who eats a ketogenic diet or who has diabetes. So let's talk about our fruits, vegetables, and berry blends. So our OG power couple were the fruits and vegetables. So the vegetable blend contains carrot, cabbage, kale, rice bran, broccoli, beets, tomato, garlic, parsley, spinach, lemon peel. So let's think of this as our mineral support. Then we've got our fruit blend, which has apple, pineapple, peach, prune, orange, cranberry, mango, beet, acerola, cherry, date, and lemon peel. This is more our vitamin support. And then we move on to our berry blend, which has grapes, raspberry, bilberry, blueberry, cranberry, pomegranate, blackcurrant, blackberry, elderberry, artichoke, and cocoa. This is more our antioxidant support. So essentially we're getting phytonutrients from 33 fruits, vegetables, and grains. What are phytonutrients? They're vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. So have a think, like, how many people actually consume that sort of variety of fruits and vegetables? I definitely don't. Not even close. There's things on there that I don't think I've ever eaten. So I'm missing out on micronutrients there, obviously. All right. So think about the products as micronutrient blends that cover the colors of the rainbow and work at a cellular level. You don't actually feel things that work at a cellular level. You just have to trust that it's happening. So our products are a live whole fruit concentrate. Once they're ingested, the tapioca capsules break down and the enzymes within them are activated. These enzymes, like I said before, they're key. This is what actually makes the capsules and the nutrients bioavailable to the body. So the enzymes facilitate the nutrients being carried to the cells, where they're then embedded into the cells and they strengthen them. So by strengthening the cells, we're increasing the energy within those cells and at the powerhouse, which is the mitochondria for any science buffs out there. And by doing this, we trigger a few responses. So we trigger energy to the body, detoxification, immune health, and nervous system health. So it actually takes 120 days for the blood cells in our body to be completely renewed. This is why we ship in 4-month installments, because it takes that full 4 months to start to see, or to see the best results. So we often say that in the first shipment, that's where you'll mainly see a lot of the detoxifying occurring. So we're removing toxic buildup and we're removing waste from the body. It's in the second shipment and beyond where the magic really occurs, and that's where our healing begins. So I just want to have a quick look at the children's gummies. I think it's pretty amazing, the Children's Health Study. For anyone who doesn't know, that any adult who purchases the premium capsules can actually sponsor a child to receive free nutraceuticals for up to 4 years. So the Children's Health Study is it's a large multi-year survey which is designed to formally document the positive effects on the Juice Plus products for families. So far, and I actually don't think that these figures are current, but they were the most current that I could find. So there have been more than 150,000 responses from parents with children using the products. And just a quick summary of some of the things that they've seen so far after 1 year of using the children's gummies. So 71% of children were drinking more water, less soft drinks, and less takeaway foods. 66% were visiting doctors less, and 61% were eating more fruits and vegetables. So it's pretty interesting. Once you start flooding your body with really good nutrition, that's what the body starts to crave. Now, the gummies are made from the same fruit and vegetable concentrates as the capsules, but to make them into a gummy, they're essentially bound in fruit and vegetable pectins. They don't contain any artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. They do contain evaporated cane sugar. This is for flavor. Yes, this is sugar, and no, sugar is not evil. And I will actually talk some more about that a little bit later when we talk about our complete sachets. But to put it into perspective, the sugar content of 2 of our fruit gummies and 2 of our vegetable gummies is about equivalent to the sugar content of half an orange. So most parents wouldn't think twice about giving their child half an orange. So I personally wouldn't have an issue with the gummies. Now, this is probably my favorite. So comparing our nutraceuticals with a standard multivitamin. I just want to say first that we really shouldn't compare. There honestly is no comparison. And we're not really about comparing. We're about holistic health, whole food products, and bridging the nutritional gap. But we do, like often people are interested in knowing, well, how is this better than something that you can buy in a pharmacy, for example? And I can tell you, we do not have a product this good in a pharmacy, or I wouldn't be here. So the main differences are that our nutraceuticals have a nutritional label. They're a whole food product and they include all phytonutrients. Whereas a standard multivitamin, it has a supplement label. It's synthetically made and it has isolated vitamins and isolated minerals. Our nutraceutical is non-GMO. It's bioavailable and it's readily absorbed into the body. It enters the bloodstream within minutes. And you'll notice that there's no waste excreted. Whereas I'm sure everyone has taken a multivitamin in the past and noticed that their urine gets a really bright yellow color. This is all the vitamins being excreted in the body because they're not being absorbed and they're not being used by the body. So our nutraceutical contains living enzymes. They're derived from food. They're protected from heat and extremes in temperatures. And this is all to preserve the nutritional value. Our standard multivitamins are made in labs. They have isolated minerals, isolated vitamins, everything is made in the lab. And because of this, they're often treated to a lot of heat or exposed to oxygen, which basically denatures the vitamins and minerals. It makes them less effective. And they're rarely clinically trialed. It's not very often that we see any sort of natural products in the pharmacy that do come with any sort of quality scientific studies behind them. Whereas, of course, we all know with our nutraceutical, we have 35 peer-reviewed studies. All right. So let's get the skinny on fat. We're moving on to one of our other amazing blends. So fatty acids are major components of our cell membranes and structures. They modulate gene transcription. They function as cytokine precursors and serve as energy sources in complex interconnected systems. Yes, I know that's all sciencey. So in a nutshell, we need fatty acids for our body to function. They're especially important for our cardiovascular, eye, and mental health. Our body actually can't create its own fatty acids. We have to get them from our diet. So our plant-based omegas. So a fun fact, did you know that fish don't actually make omegas? They get their omegas from algae. So why do we use fish to get fish oil and to get our omegas? In our blend, we actually go straight to the source and we get the algae. So they like to say that we cut out the middle fish. Why do we do this? Because it actually provides us with a more pure and sustainable source of omega-3 fatty acids. The algae oil comes from a microalgae, which is actually grown specifically for its rich DHA and EPA content. This algae is grown in a controlled environment, not the open ocean. So it's not exposed to any sort of contaminants, and it's high quality because we have full control of how it's grown. We do add other oils. So we have pomegranate oil, sea buckthorn berry oil, raspberry seed oil, tomato seed oil, safflower oil as well. These are all to add the omegas 5, 6, 7, and 9 because the aim is a holistic approach to omega support. There actually are some countries, and I think Australia might be one of them, that don't actually recognize all of these as essential omegas, but I guess that's where our health has a little way to go. Our omega blend is cold pressed to preserve the nutritional quality and integrity. And it is in a state-of-the-art capsule. If anyone's looked at these capsules, it almost looks like it has a double layer. So this protects the oil from oxidation again and from degradation. So it's making sure that we're getting top quality so that it can be absorbed in its best way. So yes, research on fish oil does suggest that we need a higher EPA and DHA ratio. And if you look at our blend, it looks like it's lower than a standard high strength fish oil. But what we need to remember is that that research has been done on fish oil, not algae oil. So it's not as pure. So some food for thought for you. Most fish oils are exposed to heat and light, which damages these oils. Often the fish is sourced from non-controlled environments, so essentially the open ocean, and they may have been exposed to pollution, and there's also issues with high levels of mercury. So just have a think about that. I mean, I personally prefer to double dose on my omega blend than to use a fish oil. That's me personally. But another thing to think about is that our omega blend is not about supplementing our fat intake. It's about supporting it to give optimal health and to bridge that gap. All right, on to the complete. So this one is our macronutrient component of the product portfolio. What are macronutrients? Essentially, they're proteins, fats, and carbohydrates, and they provide us calorie and energy. So it's things that you feel immediately. So when I spoke about our capsules, I said they're micronutrients and we don't really feel them. We just have to trust that they're working. With our complete, the aim is that you feel the effects immediately, or some of them anyway. So what is it? It's a whole food shake. It is not a meal replacement and it's not a protein supplement. Although you can use them in those ways, it's whole food. They are plant-based proteins. So we have a low processed soy protein, a chickpea powder, a protein powder, and a rice protein. So the blend allows us to cover all amino acid chains of protein. It's also really easy to digest. We have plant-based carbohydrates, so mainly amaranth, quinoa, and millet. And then the whole thing is fortified with superfood and vegetable concentrates. And this is what really makes it different to any other protein supplement or meal replacement shake or anything else. So we have broccoli, alfalfa, we have radish sprouts, pumpkin, pomegranate, spirulina, yucca, and mushroom powder. Why do we add all of this? Because we need the nutrients. You don't even taste any of that. They're amazing. I'm sure there's so many people on the line who can vouch that they're actually delicious. They're also so good for gut health. So they have prebiotic activity. So prebiotics essentially feed our gut bacteria. You can't have a healthy gut if you don't have good prebiotics. So we also have, to do that, we use a fiber blend, which contains both soluble and insoluble fibers. So it improves digestive health, it lowers cholesterol, and it improves blood sugar levels. Now, isn't soy supposed to be bad? A little background for anyone who isn't quite sure what I mean by this statement. So there has been some studies that suggest that soy possesses phytoestrogens, which are essentially chemicals that look like estrogens, and in the body, they act like estrogens. And so they can wreak a lot of havoc. Well, I've said for women's hormonal imbalances, but it actually can affect men as well. But on this, it's actually about the quality of soy that we are consuming. So in our product, we use Japanese soy. It's traditionally farmed and it's traditionally treated. It is non-GMO, it is not fermented in white sugar, and it's low processed. So it's as close as can be to the raw ingredients. So research does show that the isoflavones in high quality soy can actually protect against potential damage via phytoestrogens. So I have polycystic ovaries, so I'm all about rebalancing the hormones, and the soy doesn't concern me in this case. Also, Japanese culture has one of the lowest frequencies of hormonal imbalances, and they consume soy on the daily. So it's definitely all about how the soy is treated and how high quality it is. The other thing we get hit with is sugar, and everyone's quitting sugar these days. So again, it's about perspective. So it's about the sugar. What is the sugar? What sort of sugar are we consuming? So this is all about whole food nutrition. When sugar comes unprocessed and in whole foods, it's actually there for energy. So it's about the balance. We also have the fiber and the enzymes. So this is the key to breaking down the sugar to allow our body to use it so that it isn't stored. It's actually used, like the glucose is used in the muscles, it's converted to glycogen and used straight away for energy. So these shakes are amazing to use post-workout because they can help to build muscle and they can help to protect from muscle breakdown. They're also low GI. So this means that they're digested, absorbed, and metabolized slowly so that they don't cause a massive spike in blood sugar. It's actually a nice low and slow rise, which makes them really safe for diabetics. But to put it into perspective, again, the complete sugar content is equivalent to that in an apple. So I wouldn't cut out apples just because I'm worried about the sugar content. So I'm not going to cut out the shakes. All right, so I've spoken so much about our beautiful nutraceutical blends. And I'm pretty sure everyone can agree that they are so amazing. So why do we combine them with a health program? I'm going to give you all a little insight into the world of integrative nutrition and integrative medicine, because this is actually where it all ties together and you'll see why we've combined it all. So the definition of integrative nutrition is the practice of integrative nutrition takes a holistic approach to wellness, recognizing that the foundation for optimal health and healing begins with a health promoting diet. Integrative medicine is healing orientated medicine that accounts the whole body of the person, including all aspects of lifestyle. So if you have a look at our standard healthy eating pyramid, it's all about food and what to consume in what amounts. Whereas with our integrative nutrition plate, yes, we look at food, but we're also looking at the factors of your lifestyle. We look at relationships, spirituality, career, physical activity. We're looking at your whole life. So in my opinion, the secret sauce to health and happiness is quality sleep, drinking water, preferably filtered, meditate, mind your mind, give gratitude, move your body, eat more plant-based foods, and then back it all up with a beautiful whole food nutraceutical. So a little bit about our Health Style Emporium program and why I love it, because it essentially does all of the above. Everything that I think is my secret sauce to health, we do in the Emporium. So we recognize that health is so much more than just the food we eat. And nowadays, it really isn't enough to just eat healthy or eat a balanced diet. We tailor to meet each individual where they're at and with their own personal goals. We focus on balancing your life through meditation, mindfulness, yoga, gratitude, and we educate clients to make informed decisions for their health. So it's not a quick fix, it's not a challenge, it's a lifestyle program. It's designed to help you live your best life. We are really, really lucky to have so many amazing testimonials in our beautiful Facebook pages. So they're filled with amazing stories on how these nutraceuticals combined with the beautiful program have helped so many people. So ladies, men, children. If you are not in our beautiful preview groups, you need to be. Ask someone to add you so you can have a look. These testimonials do include huge improvements in so many different health conditions. We've got anxiety, acne, arthritis, eczema, and weight loss, just to name a few. But I do want to take a moment to point out that it's not about this. So we're bombing our bodies with whole food nutrition. We're trying to heal our whole body. We don't isolate specific conditions and we don't isolate systematic responses from the body. These beautiful capsules are actually the catalyst to change in our body. This is what stimulates our body to heal itself. Remember I said at the start, given half a chance, the body will heal itself. This is giving our body half a chance. We're working at a cellular level. We're healing our cells, we're repairing our DNA, and we're giving our body the time it needs to heal and to undo all of the damages. Our bodies are individual and they respond different and at different rates. based on so many different factors. So the results that I see are going to be different to the results that someone else sees. It's about, like I said, just giving your body the time to heal, to detox, and to see what these amazing nutraceuticals can do for you. So you need to run your own race, and you need to stay in your own lane and focus on your own health journey, not worried about why your responses are different to someone else's. All right, so I'm going to finish up tonight with this quote that I absolutely love. So, let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food. I'm actually going to wrap it up there because I'm trying to be really mindful of the time tonight. I know there's lots of mamas on the line that have bubs to put to bed, and people from all over the country in all different time zones. So I'm actually not going to answer any of the questions that I'm sure are in the comments section, purely because I just want to make sure that any questions I answer, I give the best answer I can to. So what we're going to do is, when we post the recording to this, everyone pop your questions in the comments below that recording, and Shani and I will actually come back and answer all of your questions, and we can pop links to videos and that sort of thing as well. So I want to say thank you so much, everyone, for having me. But I hope that you all took so much away from this and really see how amazing our products are.